everyone is lying to you about Kratom. I know that's a crazy way to start this video, but it's true. If you search for Kratom online, you're either going to get one of two answers. You're going to get Kratom is completely safe, it's natural, it's good for you, there's nothing to worry about. And then you're going to get the ones that say Kratom is an opioid, it's highly dangerous, it's going to kill you, and they're going to be completely misleading you. And I'm going to say that both are inherently contradicting the others, and we're going to talk about that. The problem with those two scenarios is that there's one extreme to the next. They're not giving you the full picture, and you need to understand the full picture to decipher a outlook on it and to, determine an opinion for yourself. Kratom is a very complicated thing. There's so many legal risks, there's so many things going on. People are banning it, states are banning it, people are making it legal. The American Kratom Association is advocating for it. It's a very widely popular thing, and it's growing in popularity over the years. And with that popularity being grown, the risks and the bad opinions and the good opinions are growing as well, therefore raising flags as to whether it should be banned or legal. So today we're going to be talking about all the things that people are getting wrong about Kratom. So let's get started. The first thing that I'm always hearing is Kratom is completely safe because it's natural. And I really like that argument because it can go both ways. Kratom is a plant. It's from the Mitragynine speciosa plant, and they are grown in Southeast Asia. But being a plant does not automatically mean that it's harmless. There are plenty of natural substances that can affect your body significantly. So that's why it's so important to do your research, and proper research at that. Kratom contains two very biologically complicated compounds, and that's mitragynine and 7-hydroxymitragynine. And these two things, these alkaloids, interact with your opioid receptors, directly targeting those receptors in your brain. So yes, Kratom is a plant, but you should not be treating it like an herbal tea that you just drink whenever you want it to taste good. It's a lot more complex than that. The thing is that even though Kratom has pharmacological effects, it does not automatically mean that it's going to work the same for everyone and that everyone should be consuming it, because it does interact with a lot of different medications, and you also need to consult with your doctor about any of your medications and see if it does interact with your medications, because sometimes it might, and sometimes Kratom might not be for you if you're on medications that are pretty much inherently dangerous to interact with Kratom consumption. Now the second one, Kratom is basically heroin. I know you've seen the headlines, okay? I know you've seen the headlines where people are like, Kratom kills my son, Kratom kills this person in this state, and that's always the reason. But half the time, if you look at the toxicology reports of those people that have supposedly died from Kratom use, I think it's because they say that because Kratom is a highly searchable keyword. It's a good buzzword, and they want it to push out their article more, make their video go viral. So of course they're going to use something that's very popular and going to push out their, their video, because search engine optimization is a big thing in journalism. So of course they're going to use it. But 9 times out of 10, those people that pass away are going to have different substances in their system that most likely have interacted with the Kratom and have been the main cause of their death. And also, if you ever think about it logically, people might have been using that Kratom to come off of those illicit substances because they want to get better, they want to grow in life, they want to be sober. And that's just the honest truth, because Kratom has been known to help you get off of opioids and other substances. A lot of people use it for that reason too. So they always think that Kratom is like heroin because it affects those same opioid receptors that heroin does. But Kratom and heroin are not interchangeable substances. They're just not the same thing. They carry different effects, risks, patterns with your body, and they don't provide the same exact result. Therefore, they are not the same thing. Put that out there. But the thing is, Kratom is not an opioid. So when people say that Kratom isn't an opioid, so you have nothing to worry about, that's honestly an over-implication. So instead of using one word to end the conversation, we should actually be talking about the pharmacology of the substance or the plant at hand. 3. Kratom causes dependence. I hear this one all the time, and it's not inherently true or false. The one thing I always hear is Kratom can lead to dependence, and that is true to an extent. Anything can lead to dependence. Any substance, alcohol, drug abuse, your phone, caffeine, a candy, anything has the ability to become a dependency on your life if you misuse or abuse the thing that you are using. And people can withdraw with something like they withdraw from any other substance, because if they overuse a product, they overuse it, they continuously use it on a regular basis, and they use it in highly dangerously high amounts, like of course they're gonna get addicted to it, because that's just like any other substance. Antidepressants, Benadryl, freaking NSAIDs like ibuprofen and Tylenol, you can get addicted to those things too, just like you can get addicted to Kratom. It's not the same thing, but it still has that risk of dependency. So when people say that, don't worry, you will never have a problem with this via dependency, you need to tell them that they're wrong, because they are. You know, everything has the risk of dependency, but it does not automatically mean that Kratom is a bad thing. Consumers need to know that they need to educate themselves, and they also need access to reliable resources that will help them to understand Kratom and its benefits and its cons altogether, so that they can make an informed decision if they even want to use the thing and consume it at all. The fourth thing that I always hear is if people use Kratom for pain, energy, or other reasons, that proves that it works, and that's not always true. Like I said earlier, everybody's bodies are different. One thing may work for someone, but it may not work for the other person. Someone might say that Kratom has completely changed their life. It's changed my life, but that's not always the case for everyone. Kratom does not affect everybody differently. Our biology, our DNA is all different. We're all completely different in our genetic makeup. So of course it's not going to affect this person because it affected this person the other way. Kratom is the same substance, but it can work differently for everyone. I genuinely believe that Kratom can help people and change people's lives, but taking that opinion and basing it as your experience is not always the truth. Just so you know, just because someone's individual experience with Kratom was effective does not mean that it is a medically effective product for everyone. You can say this has helped me versus science has showed it helps everyone, because it is not. Kratom is not FDA approved. It is not meant to cure, treat, diagnose, or heal anything in your body. It is meant to be an aid in your freaking wellness journey. That's what I think of it. Kratom is a good thing if used moderately and in reasonable amounts. Kratom can actually be a good thing, but you got to make sure you understand how it reacts with your body first to even notice if it's going to be a good thing for you overall. And then I always hear the thing about all Kratom products are the same, and that's completely false. So there is Kratom, whole leaf Kratom. That is what I use. They have it in a powdered form, a capsule form. Sometimes they even have it in concentrated tablets, but you need to make sure that the tablets you get are not completely 7-OH tablets, because that's something completely different. 7-OH is lab made, those products, and they're actually banned federally now as of August 1st. But I don't like that either, because 7-OH actually helps some people. Even though it was a very minute amount of people, it helped those people and they used it in a moderate amount. But I think that since they are banning it altogether, that's not a good thing. Regulating a product is better than prohibiting a product, because therefore those consumers of 7-OH are not going to go to the streets, and you don't know what they're going to get now, because the thing that was helping them or the thing they were using is now unavailable. So they're going to go and get something that is available and is most likely more dangerous for them. So the other thing that I always get mixed up is 7-OH is the same thing as Kratom, and it is not. 7-OH is lab made. Kratom is a natural supplement derived from the Mitragynine speciosa plant, which is grown in Southeast Asia initially. That needs to be more known, because a lot of people actually have the opinion that 7-OH and Kratom is the same thing, and it's not. Okay, 7-OH is a natural alkaloid that is found in Kratom as well, but that is a small minute amount. So you do get 7-OH when you take whole leaf Kratom, but it's less than a 0.3% amount in that whole leaf Kratom product. If you get 7-OH directly, it's a very concentrated product. It only has 7-OH, and 7-OH is apparently 13 times more strong than morphine, and I believe it because I had an addiction to it, and it's not a good thing. And it just shows that anything can be something that you can build a dependency on and become addicted to, just like whole leaf Kratom. But if you use it in normal amounts and you use it responsibly, honestly, I feel like it can actually help people, because I have friends that have actually benefited from 7-OH because they used it responsibly, they used it for a purpose, and they didn't overdo it. And now it's not available, they are going to more extreme methods as 7-OH consumers because they don't have 7-OH to lean on now. I'm all for regulation and not prohibition. Another thing that I hear is, since I'm an advocate for Kratom, everybody's like, oh, Kratom advocates are trying to make money. All they want to do is sell products. They want to use their affiliate codes and make money off of that. And I think that's completely false. There's a difference between being a Kratom advocate and an influencer. Influencers sell products and they promote things and they make money from it. Advocates actually do all the work, like calling legislators and advocating for it, attending public hearings, attending conferences, standing up for Kratom and the legality of it, and making sure it has remained legal for everyone to have access to it. And that's the difference, is influencers just promote the product, they just share it out there, but Kratom advocates actually educate people. They attend things, they do all the work that you don't see influencers doing. They do it all behind the scenes quietly, and they're advocating for it. Yes, sometimes they do promote their stuff publicly, but that's education. And if they do seem to have an affiliate code to a specific company that sells Kratom, it might be because they're an influencer and an advocate at the same time. That's valid. You know, people do that. I'm a Kratom advocate and also an influencer at the same time. So I'm in between those things, but it doesn't mean you have to be one or the other. You can be both. If anybody tries to tell you, oh, you're not a Kratom advocate because you sell the product, you promote the product, that's false. You can be both. You can be an advocate and a consumer and an influencer. all in one. I think that Kratom is a good thing, okay? In my opinion, it's a good thing, but a lot of other people don't think that, okay? Kratom might be good for someone, it might not be good for others. Kratom might help somebody tremendously and change their life. It might make somebody feel like shit and not help them at all. Again, everybody is different. Everybody has their own opinions about it. They have their own experiences with it. You have to find the strains that work for you. Red vein Kratom might work for someone as like energizing, but white vein Kratom might knock them the hell out. Like I said, everybody's bodies are different. Their opinions are different. Their experiences are different. And it's so important to understand that before making claims and assumptions towards Kratom, because that is bringing light to the product in a good or a bad way. And sometimes legislators act on those public opinions and it ends up being really bad for the people that actually use it in a positive way, because those negative opinions have overpowered the positive ones. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Make sure to subscribe, like down below, and turn that bell notification on. Talk to you guys later.